Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 14 now of the HeartSpace podcast with myself, Jasmine, and my wonderful co-host here, Alicia.
Hi guys.
How you doing, girl?
I'm all good, just getting over this sickness. Still feeling it.
Yeah, it's a crazy flu going around. So some of you may have noticed we didn't post any episodes last week because Alicia's been unwell and I've been busy with the school holidays, but we're happy to be back in action today. I just wanted to give a quick reminder, if you're new here and you haven't yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button below if you resonate with the content we share here on the channel. We appreciate the support from everyone we've been getting. It's been great. But this episode we wanted to have a heart-to-heart catch-up because just to touch base with you all and let you guys know where we are at on our journey, because as you know, we love to share our awakening journey here, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because we know it's quite turbulent the times. It's uncertain for a lot of people out there, and we hope by sharing our truth and how we're feeling authentically and honestly, people aren't going to feel alone, because there's been ups and downs in this journey, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's like when you see those memes or on Facebook, and it's like how I thought my spiritual journey would be, or my awakening journey would be, versus reality, and it's like all these like the little segments of photos, and it's all like rolling down a hill, stuck in mud, like just like all sorts of And like I saw one today, I actually shared it on my page. I was like, this is so accurate, because it is. It's like, I don't know, you're skipping along the street one day and then bang.
I know you can be like floating on cloud nine and then something happens and it just kind of drags you back. But I feel like when you do get dragged back, there's some like inner work that needs to be done, or something to address, or that's at least what I find with myself. When I hit a bump in the road, it's kind of like a reminder that you do have to kind of take that time to reflect on things instead of like rushing ahead. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I would agree. And also like there's every chance, especially if you're an empath. There's all the energies of like of the collective, or like what's around you, and it can actually really just like put you into like this little slump type feeling. Like I've had a couple of those, and it's like everything. There's so much going on right now. Like there's so much going on. I'm tired. Like that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling tired. There's just, I feel like something big's coming quite soon. I don't know whether that's just in New Zealand or globally. But it's just, like I'm just feeling a little bit stagnant at the moment. I think that's a little bit to do with my own stuff, as well as what I'm seeing like in the media, like what I'm seeing amongst the collective. Like there's just so much happening. So it's really interesting when you sort of go through this journey, you actually are able to sort of identify what's yours, what's not, and how to work with that in the process. What do you think?
I absolutely agree with that. I love that you said that, because I'm quite empathic too, and you do get to a point where you've got to kind of like sieve through that energy and not take on too much, and build up those healthy boundaries with people, because I'm the type of person that just wants to help everyone and anybody, and I just want to share the love, but then I can be depleted and drained at the end of the day because of that. So it's taking that time to fill my own cup up, so I'm not feeling energetically drained or resentful, because you can become quite resentful when people are taking your energy. So it's setting those healthy boundaries for yourself, and also protecting your energy, because not everyone has your best interest in heart. You know, there's energy vampires out there that just want us, you know, take your light and your good energy, and it's identifying that. And again, creating healthy boundaries is such an important thing to do, and being able to recognize that sometimes you can, like, well, you know, about 2 years ago, I probably would have just been like quite airy fairy, go with the flow with everything and everyone, whereas now I'm quite discerning with everything and people that are into my circle.
I could, I'm the same. I find myself like looking at everything and like not analyzing like as in a real like calculating kind of way, but it's just that discernment. Like I've been feeling like I've been doing that a lot lately as well. To be honest, since I've come back, you remember how so I was doing the podcast and I was down the line. So I was away from Auckland for a month. As per usual, the phone comes in.
Cute.
So when I noticed, like when I was down the line, so I was there for a good month, and then coming back here, I've been back for over a month now, and I feel the energy. There's something different. I feel different. I feel like I've been more. I feel like I'm stagnant at the moment, where I'm just stuck in this space, and my energy is quite low. And so, and because a lot of people know me to be quite extroverted and always on social media, always got something to say. And I'm always wanting to help other people as well, like yourself. And just, I've noticed that since I've been back, I haven't been able to do that. Like I just haven't had that energy. So I've had to assert some boundaries there. I've had to learn that it's okay to not reply to people. It's okay to not even be on your phone. It's okay to do these things. And I think because we're living in such a modern world where our phone is connected to us 24/7, it's got everything on it. People expect an automatic response. And so like that's what I've been trying to do is just set some boundaries for myself, for others, accept that I need this time to get myself out of this like little space that I've been in, this little stagnant, stuck little space. And just work through whatever it is that I need to be working through right now.
I think that's important too. And because I remember I was feeling worried for you because I wasn't seeing you on social media for a while too. So I was like, oh, you know, I hope everything's all good. But when all you need to do, like, and you did that, is explain yourself to people. And I saw that you did a post on Facebook letting everyone know where you're at. And I think that's what it helps, and you've set that boundary and you're just stepping back, because it can be so energetically draining just being on social media, because you always, like, especially with the line of work we do, we feel that you need to keep posting to stay relevant. You know, there's kind of like this urge to do it. And when I kind of felt like when we fell back behind a bit in the podcast, and, you know, because I got sick and then you've gotten sick, I kind of started feeling flat too, because that was my outlet. That was like being on social media. So I was kind of like, who am I without, you know, being able to speak up? So I kind of had to figure that out within myself. Like, why do I feel like this? Why have I put just doing this podcast alone on such a pedestal? And so I was just like, you know, maybe I just need to spend more time with myself or catch up with friends. Like, there's other things to do outside of just the social media platform. But you get so engrossed in it. You build relationships with people online, and you feel like they're your family, or, you know, your friends. And when you're away from them energetically, you kind of feel like you're missing a piece of yourself too. So it's that, again, that balance, finding that balance.
It's crazy. It's like most of my friends are like in my phone. Like, like in a tiny computer. But no, I think it's also it's finding that balance. And I think just there's so much, and I can't say this enough, like there is so much going on right now. There's rumors spreading amongst the collective right now that is so fear-based and freaking parents out at the moment. And I think you might know the thing that I'm talking about.
Yeah, there were two circulating. So we'll just touch base on it, because a lot of people may have been sent this in their inbox. So there was a rumour about some possible school lockdown, and they were warning parents not to send their children back to school because there was a law that was passed through that allows military, did I get that right? Military to come in and overtake the school and lock people down and possibly vaccinate your children without your consent. So that was one of the rumours. And the second one was a voice message from, I'm not too sure, it was just a lady on the voice message pretty much stating there was going to be another lockdown in August. And I don't know whether or not that's true. We can't, we don't know the answer to that. We can only speculate here. But again, it's when these things aren't referenced, or they, people don't have the right information, it like you said, it stirs up the collective in terms of like that fear mongering.
It does. And like I want to touch on the school one. Logically, it makes no sense to lock down a school for 72 hours and then go vaccinate the children. And like like people need to start thinking about the afterwards. Like what? The children are going to go home. They're going to go tell their parents. Their parents are going to. It's going to be a big outcry. It's not going to go down that way.
No.
Like I don't even think they're going to use medical. They might use. There's been a lot of shootings and whatnot happening. Could be something like that. If there was going to be something, they're going to be a little bit more strategic than using medical, and then
it wouldn't hold.
You're going to keep your children for 72 hours and juice them up. Like, it's not going to happen like that. I know that I did put on my TikTok. Because I was like, what's happening? Are we going to go into a red zone in like 2 or 3 weeks? Is it going to be another lockdown? Something.
I possibly thought it was going to be is move back into the red zone, because Jacinda did say that she wasn't going to lock us down again, but she goes back on her word that many times. It's still a possibility, but whether or not, whether or not it will hold up, I don't see a lockdown holding up. I don't see New Zealanders tolerating it or finding it necessary to go to those measures.
It will be interesting if they used a climate lockdown.
Yeah, true.
Because majority of people still believe in the whole climate change. Not to say climate change is not real, but they've definitely used that under the United Nations agenda with climate and sustainable living and all that stuff. So, and because like they know that a lot of people, like I even when I posted on my TikTok, could we be going back into another lockdown, whānau, blah, blah, blah. Like people just commented, it was like, hell no. Like everyone was so against it, and there were so many comments, and I was like, interesting.
It's so hopeful.
I like putting stuff out there like that, because it just sort of just stirs a pot just a tad, just so I get an idea of where people are at in New Zealand. Because like
I'm kind of hoping. Oh, sorry, you go.
No, I was just going to say, like, it's just amazing. More people waking up. Like, the minority are starting to become the majority now.
Absolutely.
And people have had enough.
In terms of, like, seeing posts on social media, I've seen a lot of, like, pushback whenever there's posts from News Hub about the daily counts, or a lot of people are just like, let's move on with this agenda, like, and that they're still really pushing like the numbers, letting us know how many cases are in the community, and it's like, how do you know what is what? Because there's so many people with this flu it feels very it doesn't feel like a natural flu, you know, because I say that because I found it so hard to kick. Like, there's your normal winter flus, and you can do lemon and honey. Within 4 to 5 days, you're better. But there's been a flu going around, and I had it myself, and it was just so persistent, and I ended up caving in and getting antibiotics to get rid of whatever I had, the infection, because it was just, it was horrendous. Like it was the worst flu of my life. It was worse than when I apparently had COVID. I wouldn't even say, you know, it's hard to say that because, you know, you meet people that say they've had COVID because they've done the test, but then you know that COVID's never been isolated and proven to even exist. So it's like, you know, have these people just got a really bad cold, you know?
Yeah, well, I saw something about on Facebook. I haven't tried it yet, but I'd love to get a bunch of tests and just what did they say? Just test the cotton.
Yes,
test the cotton pod. And then at the end it was like, y'all are being played. And I was just like,
that would be interesting just to get the test and like test like a watermelon, or just I saw that someone put water in theirs.
Yeah.
And it came back positive. So it's interesting, those tests. I don't think they're fully reliable, and the fact that they're just giving it to us to do now is a joke.
Yeah, it is a joke. Like, honestly, I think I feel like I've got such a like attitude about all this shit right now, and I'm just gonna be raw and honest. Like, it's just, I'm so over it.
I think so many people are in that boat. They just want to get on with things. People just want to get on with things.
And they never will. They never will until they succeed. And it's like, oh gosh, I just, like, it's just, even I remember like when people were getting vaccinated, and then there was all these videos going viral with all this metal stuff sticking to people.
That's right.
Well, I know people, literally, like my friends that have got vaccinated, and I've seen evidence like the metal is sticking to these people. So like all these things, yeah. So like it's like, oh, but that's just, you know, just a conspiracy. That could be fake, you know, all this kind of stuff. Well, I've seen that shit with my own eyes. Like, people are testing water, and the COVID tests are coming back positive. Like, a man gets shot dead, and they say he died of COVID because he was COVID positive at the time.
Oh,
like, there's just so much shit. There's just so much shit. It's just
it's a joke now, eh? It's like, come on, something's got to give. And there's still people out there that believe that it exists, and they're going for their 4th booster. It's mind-blowing. And I have noticed the attitudes in like the shops, you know, in regards to the masks have changed. Like, I don't even get asked for my pass. I can just walk in. No one addresses us here in Rotorua. It is. What's it like up there? Are they still policing the mask agenda?
They're not as hard. I mean, I have noticed the masks have increased again. I mean, people have always kind of like worn the masks in the supermarket and stuff. I've always been maskless, so I'm always like keeping an eye out. And like, if I see the odd one, I'm like, give them a little
acknowledgement.
Yeah. But I did notice, like, going into the supermarket, like into Countdown and stuff, they've got security being mask handout people now. Like, oh, do you need a mask? And I'm like, no thanks. And I just continue walking through, and I'm just like, you poor bugger. Like, you trained to be a security guard now, and you're like, oh, mask. So it's like, you're not really, yeah. And I noticed when I went into Pack and Save, like, they had this sign out, like, masks are mandated in the shop, blah, blah, blah. Like, and they've got it right there as you walk in. Yeah, and I just keep walking through. But, yeah, it's like the people at the door doing the whole mask, do you need a mask thing again? Like, that had actually calmed down for a little while. And then, so it was a couple of weeks ago, and I noticed that they did it again. Like, they started it up again. I'm like, whoa. And I was like, uh-oh, something's coming. Like, instantly, I was just like, that's yeah, like something must be coming if they're starting to like increase on the mask thing again. And then sure enough, a couple of weeks later, I see in the media cases are going crazy, like they're really high, and just like,
I think
okay,
they haven't been consistent enough for us to believe in the mask anymore, because the law states that you have to wear it in a shop, but not in a nightclub. Like, where's the consistency in that? And then I just took my daughter to Chipmunks today. Hardly anyone had a mask. Like, you were the minority if you were wearing a mask. Like, it's good. It's good to see here. And you don't get approached. You don't get told to put a mask on here. It's been quite relaxed. Like, there's no security at the door. We did have those measures in place. They just leave a bunch of masks at the door for people to help themselves too if they want one.
It's a bit weird though. You're leaving the mask out.
Yeah, people to handle too. Like, it's just, if this is a pandemic, like, then what? It would be, better measures put in place, like they were from the beginning. Like I said, it's not consistent anymore.
No,
yeah, people are way too relaxed.
It's a circus, and I feel like they're really showing us now. Like I saw an article, and it was saying something about the weather being bad, or something to do with the clouds or some shit, and making asthma worse. And I'm just like,
oh wow,
shut up! That's your geoengineering, cloud seeding shit that you're doing that is affecting.
It's all the chemicals they're spraying in the air.
Which we will touch on another subject. Let's not go
down that other. We want to definitely touch on chemtrails at some stage.
Oh yeah, that's the geoengineering. Like that's the one of the biggest ones that I think people need to wrap their head around. But we'll leave it there. But yeah, like it's just like the extent of these articles that are coming out, and I'm just like sitting there, just like it's a puppet show. It's a Muppet puppet show. Like it's ridiculous. Like it's absurd. The absurdity, like they're just stupid. I'm just so done with it.
I feel you on that, and I feel like it's so frustrating to see how relentless these people have been. Like, and when I say these people, I mean the media, with the propaganda. Like, it's just nonstop. They think that I feel like because these elitists have been getting away with these lies and these agendas for so long, they're so cocky about it. I feel like even though there's millions of us that have awoken to the truth, they are still that arrogant that they think they're going to succeed with this. And I'm hoping it does. And I hope that I'm at a point where something has to give, like something has to go right, or something has to be revealed on a mainstream type of scale for things to start turning. Or is it just going to be more ridiculousness put into the collective, and it's up to us to fight back? I don't know. I don't have the answers. Like, I was so sure that things were going to go a certain way. Yeah. It's just I
feel you. That's why I think I'm tired. Like I just don't even know anymore. And it's probably sad. Like I feel it's sad, like saying that, because I haven't lost my fighting spirit.
Yeah.
I think at least I've come to the realization that, like, I'm freaking tired of this shit, and I want to be happy. And I might not be here for a very long time. Like, I might not even live to see 50. But the short time that I do have here on this earth plane, I'm going to make it a banger. So I've got to start living in the moment and live and be happy and choose what I do. Like, choose what I want to do. Like, in the view of like a career and things like that. Like, I want to help other people. So how am I going to do that? What am I going to create for myself? We've got to create our own reality. I think that's 100%. And that is a big learning thing for me. I can't just rely on what's going to happen in the government and with everything else going on externally. I have to do it in here. So I think that's the biggest thing I've come
and to realization with. Sorry, what was
Pardon?
that? You just cut out a
Oh,
little
I
bit
said,
there.
I think maybe that's why I've been a bit stagnant, because I'm just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And
And
I'm
there's
just
nothing
tired
wrong with that,
of
eh?
everything else. Yeah.
Well, as you know, I do a little bit of oracle cards, and the other day I pulled this card that was about the fertile void, and the message behind it was that in the we get to a stage where we feel like we're buried. We feel like we're like a seed, and we're buried, and we're waiting to germinate. And I feel like that's where I'm at the moment. Like, I'm just patiently waiting for things to come to light. It has been winter, and with the weather, it does affect your mood. Like, it does have that. Like, I used to get really bad winter blues every year, and this is probably the first year that I've managed to keep myself in check, keep my mind strong, so I'm not falling into the when you get into that state of being a victim and self-pity and things like that, and feeling sorry for yourself. I've actually managed to, I think, through my spiritual practices, it's really helped me to align with a better way of thinking, instead of going straight to like, oh, everything's shit. And like you were saying, it does start with you. That's all we have. We don't have control over anything else at the moment. We don't really have the answers. We can only speculate and bring, as things come out in the media or through other different alternative news sources, bring that information to you guys. But we're on the same crazy ride as everyone else, and we're feeling all the bumps and all the highs and all the lows. And at the end of the day, all you can do is become the best version that God, creator, source intended us to be. And I think that's another part of this whole awakening, is you do awaken to that we are more than just what they told us, what the system has told us, and we are capable of so much more. We have so much power in us to create whatever reality we want. And, we need to start exercising that and exercising our power, because we do have so much power within us.
Absolutely. I think you just nailed it right there. I got nothing else to follow with that. It's perfect summary.
Yes. And I think it's just been a great journey. Even just having this conversation right now with you has been, I feel like, enlightening for me, because I've been feeling flat like you have. I think we've all been, both of us, I should say, been feeling like flat. And, we've been brainstorming over the last couple of days, like what guests we're going to have on. And we've got some exciting guests lined up. And, I'm just excited to bring another person into the conversation too, because there's so much to learn from others, like in the community, in the collective. I'm so open to, just absorbing whatever's out there, just in terms of, because you can just learn so much from other people and when you sit back and you're quiet and you're listening, that's one thing I need to practice doing, is being an active listener, and that's kind of what I get to do in this podcast. So it's cool.
Yes. Oh, awesome. Yeah. No. Yes, we've got some exciting guests lined up. I'm really looking forward to it. It brings in diversity, and it brings in, like, some people might not resonate with what we're saying, but whatever our guest is saying, they might resonate with them. And it's really awesome, because I think this space here is a space where we do touch on subjects of all sorts. We kind of keep it within the same framework type, thing, but we don't. There's so many aspects to this, and that I think is the most exciting thing about it. So much to learn, and I feel like I've actually learned. Like, even today, I like, just talking with you, I feel like I've learned now why I've been stagnant for the last month or so. It's like, oh shit, like with what we were talking about just before. So just having this conversation gave me some answers.
It's therapeutic.
It's so therapeutic. I love it.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you're feeling a bit better and that you're able to come on today. You're such a super sis. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
I think we'll just leave it here today, guys. That's pretty much where we're at. This won't be the only episode we release this week. We have another special guest lined up in the next couple of days. I won't go into too much details. You'll have to check back in with us. As always, we are so grateful for you. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. I just want to remind people of that, because I know what it's like. You tend to like watch certain things on YouTube and you can forget to subscribe sometimes. So, when you do that, we want to grow organically. And if this resonates with you, that's a great way to support us, is just by hitting the subscribe button below or sharing this with someone that may resonate with this content too. And if you haven't already, check out our other episodes. We've done, like I said, this is 14, so we've done a few other episodes and we've covered so many topics already, and there are many more to come. So thank you everyone for your time today, and thank you again, my sister. I always love connecting with you.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.